Long before this performative defensiveness from Uche Jombo, Daddy Freeze, and Yul Edochie, Alexx Ekubo became famous because he had it all. The charisma, the voice, the movie star presence, and the polished image made him one of the defining faces of new Nollywood. He was featured in movies like A Blood Covenant, Charlie Charlie, A Weekend Getaway, and many more. That is why news of his passing at just 40 years old sent shockwaves across Nigeria, the world, Nollywood, and beyond. Rest in peace to Alexx Ekubo. People were reacting to the loss of a familiar cultural figure and a symbol of success that appeared larger than life. As tributes poured in, another conversation quietly emerged. Not about his movies or awards, but about something Alexx spent years trying to protect: his privacy. What should have been a period of reflection became tangled in social media debates, controversies surrounding his service of songs, stolen phones, dress codes, and a growing curiosity about his widow, a woman very few people even knew existed. To understand why that matters, we have to go back. I wasn't going to do this video out of respect, but then they've turned this into a cesspool and we have to correct this for future sake for anybody listening. Alex's final years were shaped by one of the most public relationship collapses Nollywood had seen. In 2021, he became engaged to Fancy Acholonu. On paper, they were the perfect celebrity couple. Then, almost without warning, the engagement was called off weeks before the wedding. What followed became a public spectacle. Every blog had an opinion, and every detail was dissected. Alexx became the subject of relentless public scrutiny, followed by a second wave of public apologies, reconciliations, accusations, and intimate allegations. Bedroom conversations became headline material for millions of strangers. Psychologists note that public humiliation ranks among the most painful social experiences a human can endure. Research shows that social rejection and public shame activate the same neurological pathways associated with physical pain. The brain struggles to distinguish between being physically wounded and socially exposed. For someone living under the spotlight, that prolonged scrutiny leaves deep scars. Somewhere along the line, Alexx seems to have made a decision. If he ever found love again, he would protect it differently, not out of shame, but because he had learned what happens when the internet gains unrestricted access to your personal life. When reports emerged after his passing that he had quietly married, many understood the architecture behind that decision. This was not secrecy, it didn't seem so. It seemed like it was more like protection. According to those close to him, his widow remained largely unseen. Even at the service of songs, she reportedly wore a face mask, maintaining the protective wall Alexx had built. Whether people agree with that approach is irrelevant. The intention seems clear to me. Then came a moment that caught many people's attention. Actress Uche Jombo expressed frustration with bloggers circulating images of Alex's widow. She was righteously defending a friend's wishes, privacy, and boundaries, yet something fascinating happened. By speaking out against the exposure, she unintentionally validated what blogs had only been speculating about. The defense effectively confirmed the existence of the very reality being protected. It wasn't just Uche Jombo. We also have Daddy Freeze, we have Yul Edochie. Watch this. Let me show you something and then we'll take it from there, right? So we have a statement from it's a screenshot of a statement from Uche Jombo. She said, a husband who have been through public scrutiny kept his wife private to protect her. None of these close friends ever shared her picture. She wore face mask to his service of songs, yet somehow this private message or this privacy message didn't register to bloggers. Woke up today to her videos and pictures all over my timeline as breaking news. Now, chill, relax, listen to this. She's actually the culprit here. I'm going to show you in a second. But let's move on to what Daddy Freeze had to say. Listen to this.
So we're sitting down minding our business, and Nathaniel Bassey climbs the pulpit. And I'm like, okay. Then he blows the trumpet. Okay, you can signify the trumpet in Revelation, linking with end of the world. Okay, it is the end of Alex's world. May his soul rest in peace. But then he now starts talking and says he has never met Alexx before. Okay. But then his friend, another pastor, said they should go and pray for Alexx, that they wanted to pray for Alexx and sing for Alexx. And they were supposed to go on a Tuesday, but Alexx died on a Monday, and then they still went on a Tuesday and still sang and prayed. And I'm like, y'all are standing in front of me saying this. As in, really? You stood? You still went to perform? What happened to all your miracles, or your healings, your resurrections that you post on your platforms?
All right, so in another news, Yul Edochie, he was responding to a post somewhere. He said he shouldn't have, somebody said Alexx Ekubo kept his marriage away from the virtual internet. Now that he's gone, blogs are already digging up and posting his wife. But now some of us still talk, say, okay, so again, out of respect, we're not going to talk about his bedroom activities when it was here. That's even when it was here or after, as long as really none of our business. And unfortunately, a lot of weirdos don't understand that. But anyway, Yul Edochie said he shouldn't have hidden anything from anyone. It wasn't necessary. People must learn to stop worrying about what people say. No matter what you do in life, people must talk. So leave them to talk. Leave blogs to blog. To be great in life, you must never make yourself small for anyone or any reason. Give them things to talk about while you ignore them and enjoy life. Again, that sounds cute, but let's get into the reality of what all of this is about, right? And that's why we're here, Prestige Families. Let's get into it. This is not by no means any kind of attack on Uche Jombo, Daddy Freeze, or Yul Edochie. It's a lesson about human psychology. Behavioral psychologists describe this pattern as reactive exposure. What did I say? Reactive exposure, they call it. See, we become so emotionally invested in fighting a violation that our reaction accidentally amplifies the thing we wanted to minimize. The defense becomes the disclosure, and emotion overrides strategy. This brings us to a lesson that many marriages never recover from. When people talk about divorce, they often focus on infidelity or money. Yet, relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman identified defensiveness as one of the most destructive behaviors in intimate relationships. It is dangerous because it always feels justified and reasonable. The first way defensiveness poisons marriage or poisons a marriage is what I call the Uche Jombo effect. It confirms what did not need confirmation. When a spouse raises a concern, launching into a passionate, angry defense, what it does is that it creates the subconscious impression that something big is being hidden. The louder the defense, the more suspicion grows. Then secondly, we have defensiveness actually prioritizes winning over protection. It's just another need to be right. In arguments, people stop asking what protects us and they start asking, how do I prove I'm right? Am I right or right? See, a spouse can successfully win every argument and still lose the marriage. Thirdly, is the Yul Edochie effect. Defensiveness invalidates emotional reality. By focusing on disproving the feeling, which is the only thing that any human being cares about, you never address the pain behind it, leaving the partner misunderstood. Look at how this is playing out right now with Yul Edochie. Yul publicly challenged Alexx's legacy, claiming he shouldn't have hidden his marriage because people will always talk, right? But this is a defensive invalidation of another man's trauma, because Yul's own coping mechanism for public scrutiny is to be loud. He expects everyone else to display that same defensive armor. All right. Armor. Somebody was asking me on TikTok the other day, the H factor. I said, I'm the biggest culprit. Anyway, so again, it's very, very important to pay attention to these things. When you tell your spouse, you shouldn't feel that way because I'm unbothered. You are invalidating their emotional reality to protect your own ego. Fourth, it creates emotional isolation. When every concern triggers a defensive reaction, effective communication decreases, a partner starts withholding, and the connection starves. Most marriages do not end in dramatic explosions. They end through slow emotional withdrawal. Fifth is what I call the daddy freeze effect. Daddy freezes effect. Daddy freezes effect, it should be, right? Defensiveness causes you to inherit your enemy's standards. Look at how Daddy Freeze entered this conversation. Instead of maintaining a high status, sober respect for a colleague's passing, his defensive need to constantly fight his existing critics over religious miracles completely overrode the solemnity of the moment. The moment you become purely reactive, someone else controls your behavior. Instead of leading with wisdom, you start responding to attacks and managing perceptions, narratives. You get the explain.
We go explain.
No evidence.
No evidence.
No evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, high-value individuals understand that you never allow your critics to become your architects. In chapter 3 of Lola and my book, Get My Marriage Back, we speak about what adversity reveals. Pain does not merely test relationships, it exposes emotional habits. The challenge is learning how to experience pain without surrendering your wisdom. Consider the debate surrounding the all-white attire at Alexx's service of songs. Some argued it lacked traditional funeral soberness, Daddy Freeze, but around the world, families choose white celebrations of life to honor joy, gratitude, and legacy rather than centering only on grief. We should be careful about assigning motives to hearts we cannot see. We have to be very, very careful on trying to determine this. Listen, that may be the final lesson that we need to get from this Alexx story. Okay, that may be the final lesson he's leaving behind. So much of modern life is spent reacting to appearances and social media narratives, yet the most important realities exist beneath the surface of what people call common sense. Common sense is a terrible guide to life and relationships. I will keep repeating that the strongest marriages are not built on public approval, and privacy is not secrecy. Sometimes privacy is simply stewardship. Rest in peace, Alexx Ekubo. Your story ended far too soon, but perhaps your journey teaches us this. When pain teaches us to build walls, wisdom must teach us which walls protect love and which walls quietly destroy it. How many relationships have been damaged not by betrayal or money, but by two people being so determined to defend themselves that they forgot to protect each other? Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever I drop videos or go live. I'll be right back.
Are you fighting to save a marriage or a relationship, or simply avoiding to end up in a broken or toxic one?
We've been there and you're in the right place. You see, inside this book, right, you will find and you will discover the secret to save a broken marriage, and you will learn how to build and attract the marriage of your dream.